Hey there! So today I'm coming to you live from my car. I just had coffee with one of my team members, and part of what we were talking about has to do with one of the classes that was available to us at our national training event a couple of weeks ago in Cincinnati. And one of the things that I absolutely love about Pure Romance as a company is the amount of training that they provide and the depth of training, and the variety of topics. One of the classes was about the language of gender and sexual identity and sort of how that has evolved and what it means now. And that's a really fascinating topic for me because being part of the LGBTQ community, that is my people. But I have also sort of changed my language as the language has evolved in the last, we'll say 10 to 15 years, and the language that I use to identify myself. And so, it's a really interesting topic for me, but it's also really amazing to me that the company provides the training in that, because it affects like all of the people. How you identify yourself and the language that you choose to represent that is huge, and not everyone really thinks about that. Well, I had coffee with this team member, and we went to the Roastery Cafe. If you are in the Kansas City area, whether you live here or you are visiting, I highly recommend going to the Roastery. Specifically, the place where the coffee is roasted, and they have an amazing cafe there. And the people are wonderful. You can tour the facility, and that's super fun. And it's really kind of fascinating to see where all of the coffee comes from and how it's all roasted in their air roasters, and they kind of explain how that's different from other things. But it's a really cool experience, and I absolutely recommend it. But that is where she and I had coffee today, and we were discussing this because she had a breakthrough in her own identity and her own language that she uses to identify herself, and it was partially because of this class. And I really think that is something that too few people really think about, and again, I'm super grateful that we get the training on that, but it has come up as a topic of conversation with several of my team members who took that class or didn't, and just have questions because it's sort of becoming part of our company culture to make sure that we understand the language that is current, and how people are using language for self-identification, because that is such an important part of our identity as humans, as our gender and sexual orientation and identity. And because of our job as Pure Romance consultants, we hold people's sexuality in the palm of our hands. And yes, the parties are fun, obviously, but it's a big responsibility. So making sure that we have that information, up-to-date information, and good training is really important. So today I want to encourage you to think about the language that you use to identify yourself in your gender and your sexuality. And if you have any sort of questions about that, do a little bit of research. Look at the different language that is available, and kind of see what you relate to and what might feel like it fits best for you. Something that I have grappled with is calling myself a lesbian, because my partner is female and identifies as a woman, and as do I. And we've been together for several years now. I was married to a woman before that was legal. And, so it's easiest for me to use the word lesbian, but I don't really love that word. I tend to say that I'm gay more often than lesbian, but I've really started recently to take over the word queer, and I feel like that may represent me a little bit better, because though I do have my relationship with a woman, who I'm attracted to is very specific. But it's not necessarily always related to gender. Who I am attracted to is specifically those who are androgynous. My girlfriend is pretty androgynous, and my biggest celebrity crush of all time has been Prince. So, even though, my sexuality tends toward women, I probably would have had Prince's babies, and I have absolutely no interest in ever having children in my life. So, that's something that I have been kind of grappling with lately, and how the language has evolved has sort of allowed me to own terminology that sort of fits me better than a word that I don't really love. So anyway, I encourage you to think about that and think about the language that you use, and if it is crystal clear in how it fits you, and if not, check out some of the ways language has evolved to identify gender and sexuality. And if you have any questions about that, I am more than happy to help you find resources that will allow you to explore that in a little bit more in depth. Okay, I hope you're having an awesome day. Bye.